is a good dude.
All right, now, who is your crew chief this year?
Well, the past 2 weeks we really haven't had a set crew chief. I think they're still looking to try and hire somebody. I had Jeff Kirkendall fill in. He's the engineer for JJ Ailey on the 23 car, so he moved over and filled in as a crew chief for the last couple of weeks. But
Jeff Kirkendall.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, that's my buddy Jeff. I ain't too sure I want to drive a car he messing with.
Yeah, he works his butt off, and because obviously his main job is as an engineer at the 23. So
yeah, he's a good guy.
He works his butt off to try and get my third car going and everything. So and he just didn't have quite enough to they don't have quite enough people, and he was really spent then. So I felt bad for how hard he's doing the work. But this weekend I'll actually have Doug Richard crew chiefing me. And so obviously, Doug's been around a long time and a really, really smart guy. So excited about that. That'll take a little bit of load off of Cook and all. But he can, focus on his main job. So it'd be nice to have Doug out there for Phoenix. And I think as the year goes on, we'll get it all a little more organized. And, this first part for everybody is just really hard. Doing the whole West Coast swing, or making Daytona is a big deal, and then doing the West Coast swing after that is really tough for all the teams. So once you get through that, I feel like it's kind of over the hump, and you can really slow down and get organized.
Have you worked with Doug Richard much since you've been over there? I mean, has he been around a lot?
Yeah, he's at the shop every day and kind of runs a lot of the operations there. I talked to Doug a lot, and he's a super, super nice guy. And I've always respected it. And he's been around for much longer than I've been alive, so he knows his stuff, that's for sure. And he's an awesome. So it would be cool to work with somebody like that. He has so much knowledge, and he's I think he's got great help this weekend, and being to have a very veteran crew chief with me being a rookie driver. But luckily these cars are pretty similar to the Xfinity cars now, so it's really not much of a big adjustment as far as driving style. So it really didn't take more than a lap to get used to the Cup car stuff.
How close are they? I mean, is it really so close that you can see the same type of things between the Xfinity car and the Cup car? I mean, there's got to be some differences, but what are the exact things that you see that help you out being a driver in the Cup Series that you can pull from the Xfinity Series?
Yeah, they definitely still have plenty of differences, but I think they did. They brought them to be a little bit more similar because I see the main differences in a nationwide car or an Xfinity car rather. You can kind of run them a lot more hung out, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Where a Cup car is it has more grip, and you can't run it quite as sideways or skewed out as you would in an Xfinity car. So that's the main difference. The Cup car is just more grippy and more responsive. Xfinity car feels a little bit more lazy, and you can kind of overdrive it and get sideways and gather it up a little bit easier. Cup car is a little more edgy to drive. The Cup car still has a little more horsepower than the Xfinity car. So a little difference, but nothing that really. To me, a race car is a race car. Give me about a lap and I'll be comfortable and you get it figured out quick. So there's some little differences, but nothing that would bother me if I pulled double duty and hop back and forth in a weekend. It would really be too difficult.
So what is your favorite racetrack?
Bristol for sure.
Is that because you won there and you're the youngest driver to ever win there?
That would be one of them. Every time I've been there to it's just a place where
I thought you were going to.
I think everybody has their 125 place where, they just have a little edge. I don't know, that's just one of those places. I go there and just somehow, I always just end up going fast there. That's just my favorite place. I get around there better than anywhere else. I like all the short tracks. Really, the mile and a half kind of get a little repetitive when you get to the short tracks. It brings you back to the old days of like mile races and stuff. Or, to me, it's a much more fun style of driving than the mile and a half.
Now I seen you finished fourth at your first late model race at Martinsville.
The first big race at Martinsville I ran, we finished fourth, and I think it was like 2007,
8,
maybe.
7.
Yeah, something like that.
I've been stalking you today.
He's got his notes.
I mean, that's pretty good. Martinsville's a tough place, and there's a lot of cars that show up there. I mean, heck, just to survive the heat races sometimes is a feat in itself.
Yeah, the car I ran there was like between 130 and 150 cars or something like that. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was up there that day when you finished fourth. I was there. I mean, they had a bunch of cars that weekend.
Yeah, it was big, that's for sure. So that was a cool one. We were leading at a point, but I think that was very kind of last week where we got hit or something and knocked the toe out, and we got real tight and ended up finishing fourth. But it was still a good, still a heck of a run for us. It was good enough, here in Lake Knowles and doing it with our own equipment. We were really underfunded and everything, so that was a cool run to pull that off the team with, my dad owning it and the struggles we've been through.
Well, Matt, I appreciate your time tonight, and we'll get back to you again. Hopefully, everything will go good this weekend, and everything you'll get back on the track to finish up the season well.
All right, I appreciate it.
And I appreciate you taking the time to call. And look, you going to the shop tomorrow?
No, I was actually there all day today.
Oh, okay. Well, when you see Jeff Kirkendall, you tell him Jack Dodson said he wants to make sure that car is right when you get in it.
Will do.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Thanks.
Jeff Kirkendall was the engineer at Phoenix.
Did you tell him to call
Yeah.
me? Oh, I don't know.
Put it on speaker. Hello, Jordan. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. How's everything up in your direction? Or you in Charlotte now, aren't you? Oh, okay. Now, a lot of people don't know a whole lot about Jordan Ives. Tell us a little bit about Jordan Ives and where he got started.
I was a kid that grew up in a small town up in Glasgow, Michigan, and when I was 5, I got.
You there?
Are you there?
Ready to pair. Go to Bluetooth menu on phone to complete pairing. Enter 0000 if required.
Now your uncle is Greg Ives over with the 88 car. Do you get any help over there with him to help you along?
Not really. I mean, he helps me work on the car, and when we're down here, he'll teach me some things like that. But I'm not helped out any way financially by them. I'm just down here learning, and we're racing off of our own money right now. Just trying to make it.
Now, did you win the Spark Plug champion thing?
Yeah, we won that last year.
Ooh, that's a big deal.
Now tell us a little bit about, you were down in New Smyrna, and one of the things that everybody talks about is that crash you had at New Smyrna. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we were just practicing over there. It was nice coming out, and we just, like the first section, we couldn't really go through because I went out through my brakes were feeling a little funny, so I came in and did a work on those. And this made a lot of qualifying. Came in, just carried up to a couple more laps, and they should come good. And I made those 6 laps, you know, the 6 laps, but somebody told me they will have to come in and bring my extra 3 on my brakes, and I backed it up into the 10 of the corner, and it been murder stuff, and broke the fuel cell in half, and that's when
Wow.
the fuel landed on fire, and just everything went down from there, and the tire cut it down.
Was that one of your cars, or were you driving for somebody else?
That was my car.
So you got behind the 8 ball real quick with that, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just crazy. When I was doing that, I saw the flames just coming through the window.
That's good. I mean, that's the most scariest thing for a driver. Being strapped in, can't get out, or it probably took you a few seconds to get out, but it probably felt like an eternity.
Yeah, it did. I was just sitting there and I saw the flames actually coming towards the car from the fuel line where the fuel all spread across the track, and I was just thinking to myself, I don't know what to do right now, but I've got to get out of this thing, and I want to hit the window mat and top the window mat on fire. I looked at it and I said, yes, I'd crawl through the fire and die. So while I was crawling through, the flames came through the helmet and hit me in the face, and I just had to crawl through it and jump on into the fire, and I ran as far away as I could from the car and just watched it burn.
So for 2015, what do you got on your itinerary for this year, and where are you going to be racing at?
Well, right now we're just trying to get a new car built, and we want to run a tire store down here in North Carolina, and we're just going to hopefully get started in that whenever our car gets done. And then we're looking at some other cars. I mean, we want to run a few other cars like late model stocks. We're hoping to get into one, but we're not real sure about that right now. And then I'm going to fly home to Michigan and Wisconsin and run up there a lot, and just run all the big races up there and get as much experience as I can.
So with the opportunity to run in the cars, that's going to be your own car there that you're going to be running?
Yes, I'll be running all my own cars. I'm not running for anyone this year.
All right, well, when you go to the cars tour, will you be running the super late models or the late models?
I'll be running the super late models.
Is it the reason they changed the program at the car with the car series? Is that the reason why you picked that as a place to race in this area?
Yeah, I mean, I was moving down here anyways, and we were looking for different series, and we saw that it was just getting started, so we thought it was a good opportunity to try it out and get all the tracks down here and just get experience down here also.
So where did the number 18 come from? I see 18's on your cars. Is there any particular reason you picked 18?
Well, it started out when my dad started racing. He started when he was 18, so he put that number on his car. And I just remember going to the track and seeing the number 18 on my dad's car, and it just stuck with me, so that's why I had that number.
All right, now I've seen some pictures on your Facebook where you're racing some four-wheelers on the ice. That looks like so much fun.
Yeah, it's a blast, but it sure makes the winters go by fast. So, I mean, we just go out and race. It's called the Great Lakes Ice Racing, and we just have fun with it. It's points, but, I mean, you're not racing for anything. We should go out and have fun.
I don't see how the thing can turn. What do you do?
Like the swing arm on the back, you cut it in half and you shorten it up so we can get a better traction on it. We hit flat track motors like your tires, and we just grab a cycler and we just cut them all up into those tiny squares and flatten the tire right down to barely any air in it. Surprisingly, it's really hard. It's real fun.
I still don't know how you get down in the corner and make it turn. You just dirt track it?
Yeah, we put like a clicker on the front end for the steering, so it makes the steering turn a little bit easier. And you come in the corner, you pull the clutch and hit the brake, and it'll be sideways, and you can just turn the brake and go through the corner.
I'd have been the only dummy going in there.
Jordan, what, just your background and the people that you have involved, that are in the sport, where do you see yourself going in a few years? Where do you want to go with your career?
Well, I'm like any other dad, we all want to race in the race, I'm hoping to, in the next couple of years, I make some
Now, do you pick your uncle's brain on some technology, or maybe I shouldn't say technology, but some ideas for setup stuff? Yeah, I mean that's nice to have somebody that you can call that's got that much resources or ideas that can help. I mean that's a big deal. Yeah.
Do you get to spend a lot of time over at his shop and looking at what they're doing over there?
Since I've been out here, I haven't really gotten the chance. I've been more doing school, getting my grades right, and making sure all that's taken care of. But over the summer to get involved a little bit more and having a shop and learn. But we're just gonna play by ear right now, and I gotta get my grades good and make sure that's all right first.
Now, how old are you, Joey?
I'm
16. All these kids.
Well, I guess I don't remember 16. So y'all go ahead and talk about that.
Now, did your whole family move down here, or did you just move down here?
No, I just moved down here. I'm living with my uncle right now.
Well, that's cool. I mean, you got places that you can pull some experience from and do the things you need to get done. Where is your car? Where do you keep your car at while you're down there?
We actually keep it in a garage at my uncle's house. He has two garages on his house, and one of them just has his own race car in it, and got enough room for my race car in it.
So he drives too?
So, this was way back when he, right before he became involved in NASCAR. His car is still sitting there with the old body on it.
So it's
I haven't
old.
done much with it, but hopefully bring it up someday.
Yeah,
It's an old, outdated car.
Yeah, you don't want to run that one no time soon. Well, Jordan, give us a little bit about all your sponsors and everything you got, and everybody's helping you out, and give them a shout out right now.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all the fans that have been here for me. It's been amazing to see how many people have been supporting me. I'd just like to thank Champion Park Club, Full Line Media, Splash of Colors, Maintain Down Body, Ice Battery Repairs, and that's Western.
But now the spark plug deal, is that for this year?
We got the $50,000 last year, but we got another $10,000 going this year, and we'll get a little bit, but I mean, they've been great to us. We're just so thankful that we got the opportunity to do it.
No, that's pretty cool.
Well, we appreciate your time tonight, and glad you got everything going, and hopefully you'll get going with the car series, and we'll get you back on here again and talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Have you ever heard of the Champion spark plug thing?
She was in it.
Oh, you were in it. That's the thing. That was the thing. Okay. My mind locked slam up on me on that one because, yeah, that's right. I voted for you on that.
We didn't understand that because she was on the front page throughout the whole contest, but she wasn't one of the finalists.
People on the 5th and 6th page were in it.
Well, I think they kind of purposely mix it around so that you don't really know who's.
Yeah, but the listing on there is how many views on there.
Yeah, when they keep account of it, and you basically have a ranking as you go along.
Right.
And I remember her being pretty high in the ranking the times I looked at it.
Front page top 10 the whole time.
Wow.
So as it goes on the views, so whoever gets the most views wins the deal. Is that how it works?
It's voting.
It's about,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Voting. And
which is 33% of it, and then the rest.
But
is
to vote, you have to view the video. So I
Right.
mean, it's
Oh,
kind of
that's
like
right. Okay.
it's. Do you see what I'm saying?
So did you vote?
Of course I did. She messaged me. She said I had to.
Okay, well, I mean, I got the same thing, and I did. I was just, the way you were talking, you didn't have to. Now, next year, You're going for the diversity. You're going to do the diversity program next year, or try to do the diversity program next year. I think that'd be very beneficial.
I think it will. I've met multiple people at Rev Racing, and everyone I've met has just seems very.
Well, we got Jay Beasley coming on next week.
Oh, do you?
Jay Beasley, he's going to be on the show next week, and he's very high on it and all the things that go on over there. Have you applied? You've not applied for that before? Or?
We were gonna apply this past year, and I got kind of talked out of it, and at the last second I changed my mind. But there was really no time for me to enter back in, so it was my mistake. But I will be trying out for it this year, and hopefully we will join.
How does the process work? Do you know?
It is a 2-video entry, a 2-minute video on why you think you should be their next diversity driver, and I think like a 2 to 3. It's a little bit longer of a video of like a presentation on your racing, and then you have to fill out this giant application. You send it in through online, and they email you back in a few months, I think, and telling you whether you made the combine or not. From there, they bring all their drivers out. I think it's like 15 drivers or something around that they bring out to the combine. There may be more. I have no idea. I just saw the picture. There may be like 20 something. Then they do the driving portion of it at Langley with their late models, and then they do the physical part of it, which is all their agility and blah 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 testing.
She can smoke them on the physical part.
Now you'd be surprised how many people are not that.
She's in the gym every day.
Yeah, I see pictures of that in the gym every day. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
Battery level is high.
Stress relief.
Right.
Well, I mean, do you pay attention when you go on the internet or whatever? Do you pay attention to these different programs they've got?
Yes, I do.
Try to see if you want to be in them.
I do pay attention to the programs, and then you have the certain challenges and stuff like that, like the Peak Challenge, and then you have the Champion Spark Plug, and then you have the diversity programs, and then you have then you have the programs that are like, oh well, if you give this amount of money, you can, I could do that by myself. You know what I mean? But I do pay attention to it, and I sometimes do look into certain ones, but it really all comes down to finance. That's what racing has become about, really. It's very hard to go somewhere off of raw talent. It is. Yeah.
And anymore it is very few and far between make it without having some big financial help.
In some areas, I guess talent doesn't matter much.
I mean, that's why I'm still here.
Well, in your case, you skipping on both.
She gives her racing career. She gives us a half hour of marketing every day, and half hour.
It's a great. I mean, it's a great tool, especially I think for anybody today. You have to know marketing.
It really is.
You have to.
It really is, and that's where Anna Marie came in with 2.5 years ago. It was just, I guess you could say life-changing, because really she has taught me everything that I do know, marketing-wise, and how I present myself, and
yeah, because you
honestly,
represent companies.
Yes, honestly, the personal life of it too. Like what you do in your personal life is a major factor, and because
what you post on Facebook, and everything you do, it's all
right. Things follow you.
You got to watch everything.
Yeah, so you better watch out.
I'm not going for a job.
And she has opened a lot of doors to a lot of corporate companies and stuff like that, and I believe a lot of them are just watching to see what she does.
It certainly don't hurt. I mean, I don't care what you say.
We've gotten tons and tons of even even responses from giant corporate companies is a big deal in my opinion. Even if it's a, hey, contact us next year when around our budgeting time, and
a couple of them are a couple sponsors right now.
I mean, just getting the email back is big because
Exactly.
most of the time you don't
they
get
just
anything
ignore
back.
those same things.
But
But
I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I forget who it was. Had a conversation with Ron Hornaday, and he was in such that you know, a few years back or several years back, he was like, you got to pick who you wanted to drive for. And you just named your salary one out. They were like, yeah, you got it right. You got a sponsor? Oh, you don't have a sponsor? Well,
Sorry.
then
You don't have a ride.
If you don't have a sponsor behind you, you don't have a ride.
it is really hard, but it's
Now, do you feel like, now this is, I would think being a woman in this sport, it would help you attract sponsors.
it definitely does help you attract sponsors because one, the female targeted companies you can reach out to more because if you're a male driver, you can't go to
You're down the business.
you can't go to a makeup company and be like, hey, let's get your company into NASCAR. I'll wear your makeup. You could probably pull it off.
I'm
You
an
pull it off. You pull
I'm
it
an
off.
exception on
You
it.
get it. But it does open a lot of doors to a lot of different companies and even the companies that you feel that should be in that marketing range of NASCAR. It's a different outlook on having a female driver than you have. Millions of male drivers. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of female drivers, but it's different because you don't get a ton of drivers that know how to market, and it definitely has opened a lot more doors, but it has its downfalls as well.
I would agree. It probably
It has
just
its
as many
downfalls.
positives as there's negative because there's so many people, and it drives me crazy when I hear people say that they don't understand why, Danica Patrick's in there when somebody else could take that car. It doesn't matter. I mean, even though she has a sponsor, which is great, she's brought somebody else in the sport. She's still doing a good job.
She's selling merchandise.
Right. And honestly, and a lot of sponsors, believe it or not, not that they don't care. A win is a bonus. It's exposure. It is all the bottom line it comes out to is exposure.
And honestly, that company, GoDaddy, is getting so much exposure from her. Even she can finish last.
But people give her a hard time, though. And that's where I
They
say
definitely
the
do
double
give her a
side
hard
of
time,
the.
but she also has so much support as well.
I would laugh all the way to the bank.
Did you ever looked at the rundown of the race on like ESPN when they run the thing? They'll say the drivers that finished 1 through 5, and then they might put Kyle Busch or somebody that finished behind them, but they always put Danica Patrick in every single time. So she's getting a lot of publicity.
Right.
So, you mentioned Anna Marie.
Yeah.
Tell us about her program. What all she does that you were involved in.
She has two different boot camps. She has private. Her boot camp ages range from 12 to 24, I think. She has private sessions. Ew.
Money talks.
They ain't got that much time.
Her boot camp basically goes through how to market yourself, your team, how to market your race team as a business. Really, it showed how to attract sponsors, different creative ways, how to build your fan base, social media, and all around just how to present yourself and get exposure, not just in your area and your hometown, but bigger wise.
She's got a good program. I'm hoping we get her on here.
And she's very passionate about it too. I will say
she is one of the most passionate people. She cares about her drivers as family, honestly.
Yeah, I would totally see that.
She
explain boot camp.
Boot camp is a week. She actually just changed it to every 2 weeks, but it is a weekly online class with her, and I think like there's like,
So you do all this from your house?
yes, you do
Okay.
it from home on your computer. It's a webcam. It's a webcam class, and there's other drivers in the class as well. So it's not only like you working with just one-on-one with her. You can work one-on-one with her. That's her. That's what she does private sessions wise. But the boot camp, it really gives you like, I preferred the boot camp just because it gave you that sense of, I guess you could say, community, because you have these other drivers that are learning as well.
Mhm.
And I guess you could say you stay on top of one another because you're all going through the same thing.
Mhm. You can relate to them. They can
Mhm.
relate to you.
I've made
Plus to have accountability.
we have
accountability.
we have accountability buddies, and
Okay.
we talk to each other on like a every 1 to 2 day
So
basis. On
What kind
we
of
have.
homework would you have?
We do have assignments. A lot of her assignments are more of challenges on what you can accomplish within this time. A lot of her assignments are like self-building, like getting your programs, getting your goals into place on what you want, what you don't want. We just had a clarity and goal setting challenge, and the clarity challenge and the goal setting challenge was you wrote what you want, what you don't want, for sure, where you see yourself in the next few years. And we had to write a long paragraph on what we truly actually want with where we're going,
Mhm.
why we're doing this. I mean, honestly, that set a big, focus for me, because my big thing is I want to be able to help, once I make it, I want to be able to help drivers like you and I go somewhere with.
I know she didn't say Jack's name. I just threw you for a loop there.
But I want to be able to help drivers like you and I go somewhere with their careers. And Jack.
No. I got a question.
Yes.
Why do you even claim him to go somewhere? That's way out of the question.
Nice for finding it.
Okay, I know your dad's here, but he ain't going nowhere.
I'm going home when I leave here.
That's about as far as you're gonna get at home. No, I understand what you're saying, and it's a good thing that you want to go beyond to help other folks and get yourself to, or get them involved. And I think it's good.
And I think like when you put it on paper, like you said, you had to write it down. It's for whatever reason.
It holds you accountable.
Right.
It really does. It holds you accountable. Once
It's like
you
a
write it
psychological
down,
thing.
it really is, and it's all of. We watched this one video the other day, and it was mainly about how your daily habits really affect where you want to go.
That's pretty.
I mean, you don't need to watch that.
Were you quiet before?
Yes, I would
Look,
not talk.
Dad'll speak up for that one.
Oh,
Look,
I mean, I kind of figured that's why I asked.
look, the first time I met Maddie at the other place, we had to pull everything out of her. It was really funny. I mean, you were there. We actually had to pull stuff out of her to get her to talk. And then she would look at, and she'd look at you.
I probably wouldn't be able to hold on to a 2-minute conversation with someone that I did not know very well.
And she'd look at you like,
What are you expecting that?
and we'd say, well, we had people on the show. We said, well, why don't you ask them a question? She goes, what? It was funny. But she is completely different now. So, I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's
and the
really a good
racetrack will do that itself because there's so many people there, and you got to talk to so many people.
You do. The racetrack has definitely taken a toll on me,
Well,
socially wise.
I will say, being a parent and everything, the transformation I've watched her in marketing at full speed. 3 years ago, like I say, she wouldn't say boo. In less than a month ago, she was speaking to a corporate owner
That's
from
big.
another country.
Yeah,
And carried on a 45-minute conversation on her own.
I don't know what, and this is my personal opinion. I don't know what got me to following you as close as I did, and to see the transformation that you have
Why is
made.
that special?
Well, really, you are. I mean, to be honest.
You notice how she's always posing?
Yeah, I know. My
No,
daughter does this.
I'm gonna be a model. I'm gonna be a model. I'm gonna be a racing model.
But I mean, honestly, I mean, from the transformation that I've seen, and you see it more than I do, but it's really interesting. I mean, it's really to see her go from where she was to where she is. I'm pulling for her. I mean, I really do. I follow everything you do. And I don't know if you call me a stalker or whatever you want to call it.
I'm okay with it.
But I do watch. I do, and you know, Dad, I see him. You know, I see him on there, and I think we've talked a couple times. But I really enjoy seeing where you come, and it's great to see. And
It's fun to
It
watch people.
definitely-
and I want to see you. I want to see you succeed.
It
I really
definitely
do.
is. I mean, honestly, it's interesting for myself to see pictures, videos, things from a few years ago. That's just like, what were you doing?
Well, I can honestly say, as her father, I am 100% blown away and so proud of where she came from and where she is now. To watch her get in the full-size car last year and the struggles that she had trying to earn the respect that she eventually got towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it was,
then finally getting her second place finish. Well, trust me, boys, she's coming up from this year.
but she did have some struggles there at the beginning. I watched. I mean, there was some struggles there at the beginning, and that comes with the territory.
Only car wise, just
But that comes with the
other
territory.
drivers and
Physical
everything.
wise.
It was-
Yeah, it's a whole new process that you have to go through,
Mhm.
and you'll probably do it again
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
move to another division. You'll probably go through it
She
again.
learned how to drive a manual stick car 2 weeks before her first race.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But people will race you harder because you're a woman too. I would
Exactly. That's another thing that people.
Well, we'll be back with you in just a minute.
1, 6, 4. Say answer or ignore.
Mr. Tyson, how you doing, sir? Hello? Mr. Tyson? All right, we got the bugs here worked out.
What's the matter? They're calling. Is that somebody calling? Do you know how to operate it?
Yeah, I had it working good. There we go. Is it on your phone?
No.
Oh well, there's another bug in our plan.
Who's calling back?
I swear on that.
Oh well, wait a minute. But now I got a problem with my phone.
Man.
This ain't good at all. Seriously.
Well, someone's calling.
Yeah. But how you calling when I ain't got no reception?
Oh, this is a joke, really. I think you might be what you're saying. Pat? Hello?
Oh well, my phone is dead or not or what?
Well, we got a like class A show here, buddy.
Well, I mean, it's part of the thing.
We're fixing it.
I was thinking a while ago. I was thinking.
It's going pretty well.
Ready to pair. Go to Bluetooth menu on phone to complete pairing. Enter 0000 is required.
Call. Not that number. That's not the one we were looking at.
Who's the last one that just started?
No, that's Michigan. That was Jordan.
Man, you just had the phone.
This is a lovely way to do this. Hey, look, man, we can't do this Saturday.
And then we're gonna be at the dang, I'm terrible with names.
Curtis Turner Museum.
Yeah. Oh, they want us to do a show from the museum, so
That'd be pretty cool.
Where's that at?
Roanoke. So we're gonna pack our 2 little things up.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Camera in the computer.
I'm kin to Curtis Turner. And,
Oh, really?
and
That's where he got his ability.
I'm kin to Curtis Turner. And they're trying to get him in the Hall of Fame. So they're doing a little bit of everything.
It'll be interesting because, I didn't know he had something to do with starting the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I mean,
So it'll be pretty neat to learn all those.
the thing that's probably going to be the hindrance for him is the fact that he tried to start a union with the
You
drivers.
go watch it. It'll be out next.
I've already been out once. I got back again.
Let's not go there.
Well, I might have something for you then, because I actually have a Curtis Turner picture that was bought at a yard sale for a nickel.
Really?
Yes, it's at home. I believe it's in a box sitting right in my garage.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll see if I can't dig that up for you.
Yeah, he's part of the.
And he was on the ballot.
Yeah,
So I was surprised about that this time. He's on the ballot, so that'll be interesting. I don't know how much stuff they have there. It'll be pretty neat. I've never been there. Have you been there yet?
I've never been there, and Margaret, his daughter, has really been pushing hard to get everything she can. So I'm gonna try to get the guy from Martinsville Speedway to come up, and we're gonna try to do it better than what we're doing right here. Even though your part's been good.
Gotcha. But when you bring the owner of Martinsville Speedway, tell them we'd love to, put Martinsville Speedway on the hood of Betty Ryan's Pro 6.
I'll run a few laps for the show.
The Langley Speedway is on the hood of everyone else's car.
Yeah, that's true.
Was last year on mine.
Well, I told him to try again, but
See your message?
so I don't know. I guess we screwed that one up. Well, we're still learning, and we're gonna get it all down pat,
Exactly.
and we're gonna make Maddie Ryan proud because she's done so well. We don't need to screw this up again. Of course, I didn't know we were in the flight paths either.
Usually at night we don't have that much. Although I'm not really here at night.
You're not really here much during the day.
Working hard.
That might be true.
All right, well, since we're gonna finish, we'll finish up with you and tell us a little bit about your team and who's working for you. Give them all a big thanks. Thank Dad.
Thanks, Dad. My team mainly consists of my dad, Sean Beluzzo. We'll be having my brother and a few family friends as the crew workers this year, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, is he going to
they're
spot
fun.
for you again this year?
Sean,
Mhm.
yes. For right now, that's what we're thinking. We may have. Sean will be spotting as of right now. If anything happens, we'll have to find someone to fill in if he has a race or something
Is
like that.
Dad on first on the list or like second? Down a little first, maybe? After Jack?
Jack will be first on the list.
And I have quite a bit of experience doing that. But I'm not going. I'm not lobbying for the job, but I'm just saying You could.
Look, we let him have a headset during one of the races.
Excuse me.
in the arena.
We can't
Here.
let my mom have one.
That's not.
No, you can't let mamas have them.
Let my mom.
Now, tell them what else you're planning on doing this year. What's your
Oh, hopefully we'll be jumping in the modified sometime. I'll be jumping in the modified sometime this year for a few practice rounds.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that'd be a big jump because that's a lot of motor. He's got a little extra motor.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got as much as Robbie Bad, but
they're pretty close.
yeah. Robbie's got a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
that thing's-
depends on which night, who's handling better or whatever, but they
Yeah.
both got some stout motors.
That's a
So
big learning
hopefully.
curve to jump in that thing, and I mean that'd be interesting to see.
He's mentioned it a few times, so hopefully we'll work that out.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool opportunity to
I
have.
got on his simulator, and that thing is just. He's got the one that moves, like the
Oh, with the
seat
car.
literally moves. I ran at Daytona, and I was just like,
It's crazy how
Mhm.
steep Daytona is.
it really is. I haven't, we haven't been. Oh, you've been arena racing, but I haven't driven the race car in months and months. And we were driving here, and I took this one turn, and I was like, yeah.
Was
I
he
feel like I
over
was
there?
Southern National.
It's really sad to me. She don't even have a driver's license. She's driving a race car.
Right.
NASCAR license.
Well, you got that, but that's kind of weird.
2 weeks.
I don't care what it
I'll have
says.
2 weeks. I'll have my driving test or my behind the wheel test, and then I'll have my license finally.
I would love to see whoever does her driving test.
We're gonna make her go in her driving seat.
No.
That would be funny. That would be good. That would be great.
I got to do it in the mornings though, so it's gonna be like 6:30 in the morning. I'm gonna be so tired.
I've seen it a couple times before I went to bed.
What?
6. I hate getting up in the morning. I'm not a morning person.
I'm gonna be so tired.
Well, it's when I was doing mine, and we actually had cars then. I know you was getting ready. See, I knew where you were going to go, so I went on and did it for you. But
You probably ain't heard it. Here used to have Pintos, these cars back in the, you know what you used to drive, a Pinto?
dude, what is your problem? There are people that are watching this right now. They're probably asking the same questions they asked before. Do we really like each other? And right now, I'm not sure. I'm not
Well,
But anyway, I did my driving test, and I've been driving for years before I even took the driving. I mean, that's what we did.
What we did.
Yeah.
back in the old days.
And I had this driver that he just thought he knew everything, and he wanted me to parallel park. So I whipped it in and parallel parked it, and got ready to pull off. And he jammed the brake. They had the brake on that side. He jammed the brake, but when he did that, I jammed the gas. And we went through the parking lot like this. And he said, "You need to get out." I said, "Well, I done shot that in the foot, but I passed."
So he's still giving you license?
Yeah. So I could see her
Did you pay him off?
going down the road. I could see her going down the road and taking a curve like.
We took the back roads, and that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what we all learn on is the back roads.
Mhm.
That's all there is at his house. In the country.
This show is going to be called Jack Dodson's Insider Racing News without Scott.
It'd be boring then.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing else. Is Steve gonna be helping you again this year?
Yes, as much as he can. His son might actually be running a youth car or an enduro. Mini stock at East Carolina possibly.
Really?
So his son might be doing that. They're still trying to work out all the details.
How old is
but,
his son?
he just turned 18, 19.
I ain't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. But he might be running that. We're not for sure yet, but on the weekends that he's not running there, he's probably going to be with us.
He's been around for a
That's
long
my
time.
best friend.
Your best friend?
He's fantastic. He was actually at the house this
2 days
past
ago?
weekend.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, he just called me out of the blue and we went and did lunch and then we wound up back at the house. And
He's a good guy.
he was only going to be there for 5 minutes and he's
Couple
Sounds
hours.
like me
there-
going
he's
about
there for
Mark.
2 hours.
Yeah, he was out at the race. He was out of Southampton when I was racing out there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like him. He's a cool guy.
Very, very.
And he came up to me at one of your races last year, and he come up and started talking to me. I hadn't seen him in years. I know who you are. He standing there talking to me. I finally figured out who he was, but it was kind of embarrassing. I kept saying, hey, "You know who I am," but I'm not really sure who you are. But yeah, he's a great guy. So you got a good bunch of people around you.
I do.
A good foundation starter.
Yeah,
For it.
and I hope it moves on to bigger and
So
better
what
things.
what is your goals? I mean, do you have any like set goals, like you want to consistently be in the top 5 or the top 3?
Yes,
or
our goal
win every
is
race?
to. Oh, I'd love to win every race. That'd be great. Our starting off, or all throughout the season, our goal is to finish top 5
Mhm.
every race as much as we can. And I would like to win a race or 2 this year. That would be fantastic.
Sure.
And my goal is to win the championship this year. At least top 2, top 3.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's a pretty competitive series, and it's
it's
getting tougher
definitely
this year, I believe.
It's
What happened to
definitely
your,
step up.
I thought you were going to explore into the Pro 6
Me?
division. not too
No.
long ago.
No, I don't have Pro 6 money.
You're funny.
I just barely got a reader card.
Or Pro 6 talent.
Although I could bring some money, but I ain't got no car.
Mark will build you one. He's
He
building one.
thinks he can. I know yeah. Mark don't stop.
He doesn't. He really doesn't.
I mean, he really
The
doesn't.
go-karts, the...
7 days a week. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm over
Plus
at
he's
his
got a
house
full-time job, so
till
I mean,
1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know. I need to go down there and stop by a shop one day and just hang out and see what's going on.
I mean, we might only get 2 hours worth of work and about 4 hours worth of BSing, but I'm there till 2 or
Sounds
3
about
o'clock
right.
in the morning.
I go to the shop and work by myself. You know, every now and then my daughter shows up and plays on her cell phone.
No, I mean,
my
you're
Alright.
not supposed to
Alright,
have
that-
that
That leads to another question. How much do you actually get involved with the car? Do you get out there and work on the car?
I'm good at changing tires.
I don't think she really wants to answer this question.
She will change her tires and she does keep the car clean and stuff like that. But you know, as
My
far as-
mechanical ability isn't sky high. I'm learning.
Now, do you
But-
like if they make a change, or you?
I am able to tell, and I am able to communicate.
But
That's another thing that I've grown on is my communication with him, and not only him but my spotter and everything.
Yeah, but like if they make a change to the car, do you care what they change, or do you want to know exactly what
Oh,
they did
I'm
so that
definitely.
you know
I'm
what they
very.
did to the car
I
involved
have
in
very
the
bad anxiety, so I have to know what's going on. I have to. I'm a very controlling person. I like to be able to. Some people like some people like their cars to where they kind of just the car pretty much drives itself. I'm a very.
She wants to
I
be in
need
control.
control of what I'm in.
You want the driver to make a difference.
She
I don't care what it
drives a
drives.
loose race car.
Well,
No
you
matter
gotta
what
be.
it is, she drives a loose race car. And our biggest thing is trying to get her to give us enough laps to feel out the change. She knows whether you made a change to the car or not, but she's very quick to judge. I don't like that change, and we're looking at lap times. Well, the change is working for you. You need to give it a few.
I will say that from my experience, like sometimes you don't. I can never be in the car and say, yeah, the car's fast. 'Cause I don't know if it's fast until I look at a stopwatch.
Mhm.
And I don't care what
I'm
the
pretty
car
good
drives
at-
like.
I'm pretty
As long
good
as
at
it's
feeling
fast.
it, whether it's fast or slow. But he likes to sometimes perk my confidence up a little bit more and fit to me on a few seconds.
But sometimes
we made a spring change last year, and it made the drivability car better, but slowed her down a couple tenths. And I just wanted her to give it, a few more laps. And when my driver just pulls in the pits and is like, put the spring back like it was. Put the spring back like it was.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes I do get
I like how you refer.
reminded sometimes.
I like how you refer to my driver.
What his daughter did on his driver. I know for
when
me,
she's on the track, she's my driver. I mean, she's headstrong, and that's something that we have to work on, and that's why I don't spot for her or anything like that, because she's not gonna raise her voice at me on the radio.
right.
I don't care whether she's racing or not. I own that car. Park it.
But I will say, for me, sometimes I care about wanting to know what they did. Sometimes I'll say, look, if you want to try something, don't tell me. We'll see what it did. Because sometimes you get an opinion, or you think you know it's going to do something, and regardless of whether it was good or bad, or you ain't going to like it, or you're not going to want it. Until I go see the thing in this fashion, I'm like, all right, let's leave it in there.
Well, then it also works in reverse, too, because she's very headstrong about what she wants and everything else, and we'll try and tell her, well, you need to adjust your line. Your car is never going to be perfect.
No.
It's up to you to get the most out of your car. And that's what we're teaching her, and she's starting
That's what
catching
I'm
on to
working
that
Yeah.
at the end of the year.
That, trust me, Pro 6 is not a perfect car division. It's
Well,
like at all.
Yeah,
She
none of them
loved
are.
the late model. I mean, when she
I
got
absolutely
out
fell
of
in
the late
love
model,
with
she
the
was
late
like,
model.
I want one of those.
Yeah.
She was
I
like,
fell in love with the late model. I'm not a fan of the handling and the driving of the Pro 6, but for right now, that's what I've got to work with, and that's what I'm going to.
Well, I mean, you just like more horsepower. I mean, I do too, because it's so,
The handling was a lot different on late model as well, though.
when you're under horsepower, you have to be so much smoother on the wheel, because rolling through the center of a corner just magnifies so much more when you have no power.
It
And
was
it's
a
hard.
blast,
You
though.
really gotta concentrate. And some of those terminologies using, you could say tight in the middle of the corner, but or I needed to roll the center better. The communication and
The car has to be free. You have
I don't
to
care
know
what car
horsepower, it has to be free.
compared to what we used to do 20 years ago in late models and stuff, it's crazy what we do today to get these cars to turn. Used to, you could have a car kind of snug and run up front. Now, I mean, it's got to be loose. It's got to be.
A lot of things are exactly opposite of what you had before.
Yeah. You remember how much valence we used to have in the cars? Two and a half inches of shock travel. That's all you want. Now, I mean, you want all you can get to the to the bottom of the racetrack.
Exactly. I mean, you're wearing wear strips off the front of your car.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember there was a guy down in Florida put on this show, this class, and I can't remember the guy's name. And it was like you want as much weight on the wheel as you can, but don't try to be Superman. I mean, it was in the book. It was like, so don't go with a real soft spring because there's a point in going too far. So you start getting over 3 inches of travel, but it's like that's all we do now, I mean, crabbing, it's crazy. It's just, I love the technology side of the stuff. Especially when we go to the Cup garage and I go over there and look, and I'm looking, the guy's got the panel bar all the way at the bottom, and they're running 50 to 60% cross. I'm like, how the hell do we get these things to turn? But it works.
Yeah. With the Pro 6 division, it's a lot more in the front end than it is in the rear end.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
You think it would be just like a late model, you can adjust all 4 corners and stuff, but you get more reaction out of the front end of the car than you do anywhere on the car.
Well, and it's hard to really get a bunch of money. I mean, there's some rules in the Pro 6 division, but I don't think they're very well enforced.
They're not.
I mean, you're supposed to have 4 springs, 4 shocks, and
We'll see. Things are supposed to be tightened up.
well, being they're going to
tighten
pay
up
the
this year.
division, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Because they are supposed to continue still to pay them this year, right?
We didn't get paid last year.
I don't know. I mean,
Because
I've heard we were getting paid, but
Nobody has gotten paid.
We were supposed to get paid reimbursed, I think, but I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Well,
it doesn't matter. We had a blast last year.
Well, that's the main thing.
that's what you're doing it for anyway. If you're trying to make money on it, you might want to hang that up.
I was always told if you want to become a millionaire, if you had $2 million and you started racing, you ended up with $1 million, you accomplished your goal.
Step away.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see, you got a lot of horsepower up in that arena car, so.
So I can relate to them.
Yeah, you and I can relate real good.
It is, but I mean, it is about most things. It's all about rolling the car. And it's so frustrating. That racetrack is so much different than anything else
It really is.
that you drive.
Have you ever run a arena car?
No, he's talking about a rental car.
I know,
Yeah.
but I've watched them and it's ridiculous.
It's just so different than anything else.
I'd
Now,
be
if Scott
scared.
wants to put her in a car, I mean, we're all about it.
All right, I'll let Angela practice as she rubbed the wall a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I heard she went and got one the next week.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
All right, well, I guess he's not calling back.
And
I guess we,
you must,
I'll
you
have
must
to
have started watching the show.
no, but we're getting better.
We've got
Maddie, we
know
appreciate you coming back.
Know
Thank
what
you
they're
very
doing.
We will get you back again, off and on during the year, if you would be
I would love
willing
to.
to do it. Keep you up,
I don't know
let us know what's going on.
As long as you two keep this up.
As long as the circus is
So
in
what
town.
you're saying, you enjoyed this?
Oh, I love it. It's entertaining.
Your driver.
You should see it sometime when
Entertaining.
Brian is here. Brian
Oh, I
just goes
know.
back and forth between us.
He likes to turn y'all against each other.
We've actually had people this
It's so funny.
last year that they come back and they sent me a message. And this was from up in Michigan somewhere. I don't even, the guy says, I really would like to know, do you all really like each other? Or is this an act?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
I try to shake him, but it just doesn't work.
I'll tell you a story. Did you race over Langley a long time ago?
Yes, I did.
Did you? So when did you race over?
2000, 2001.
I was calling about it. I helped Guy named Barry Strathman back when Tanya Miller and Kathy Mosier, which was his wife, raced, and Chip Hudson, all these guys were racing. Well, I had this guy, Brett Vincent, that helped me do the tires and stuff we were working on it. And Brett was so funny. He owns visual effects, scientist here. So if you ever run into Brett, you gotta mess with him. I tell everybody this story. And one day, we come off after qualifying, we Bob brushed all the tires. And one day we were scrubbing the tires, rolling it back, and I'm on one side, he does the other side. I get done with my tire, and I start rolling the tire, and his arm gets caught between the tire and the fender a couple times. Oh, no, it wasn't bad. It was like we're kind of the same way me and Jack are. People would come up to Barry and they're like, "Do those guys ever get along?" They're like, "That's the friends, So we get to the front, and I do my tire, and he does his tire, and I go sit down on the trailer, and he comes over, and my nickname was Hair. He's like, Hair. He always had this way he talked, and he's like, I got something to tell you. I don't want to tell you, but it's too funny not to tell you. And it's like, what? He's like, you know how you kept rolling that tire in the back and get my arm caught? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, when we got up front, I seen you scrubbing your tire. He said, so I rolled my tire real fast. He said, I picked down behind the fender, and I'm laughing. I'm like, I got him. He said, I looked across the hood, and he said, you still over there scrubbing? He's like, damn, he's scrubbing that tire. He said, so I rolled it real fast the next time. He said, I laughed. And I looked back across the hood, and he's like, damn. He said, I looked down the car and realized those ain't connected. You can't make that up. So since then, he still works part-time at FedEx. He lives down on Moyoc. I love the dude to death. I would have people prank call him like years after. I'd call him up and they'd be like, yeah, this is such and such from Richard Childress Racing. They're like, yeah. Like, we understand that you can roll some tires real good. You scrub them real. He's like, God. You tell Hair to put it in the paper so everybody will know, and I will never have to hear this again. So, like, if I run into anybody that's like, Brett, you're like, yeah. Matter of fact, Richard Noblet, him and Richard are buddies. So last year at Arena Racing, I said, Richard, I understand you know Brent Vincent. He's like, yeah. So I had to tell him the story. I said, so when you see him, you got to mess with him. It wasn't about a month later. I got a phone call here in the middle of the day. He's like, you son of a... I had somebody come up to me in the middle of my party. Was like, hey, I understand you know how to scrub some tires. But he was so funny. I mean, he was so funny. We used to have the best time, but he told me he rolled that tire in the front. He said, "I looked in the car and realized those ain't connected."
All right, man. On that note, we're going to end this show.
So I'm sure Brad will get me. He's on.
Yeah,
I have to tag him in this video. All right, bye guys.
See you later.
Bye.